but don't take my word for it if it comes out bad for you. Anyways, why is this motorcycle always outside, bro? We're quarantined and nobody's gonna see you on your motorcycle doing wheelies. So for today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I say that in all of my videos. I don't know why. But today, as you can see, I already have my eyebrows on and I'm going to be doing a more in-depth video on how I do my base makeup. I got a comment and even a few comments from my friends talking about how they think that my base makeup is like so good and smooth. And in my head, I'm like, seems pretty average to me, but you guys have been asking, so I was like, I may as well do it. Gotta do what the people want, gotta do what the fans want. Just kidding, I don't have fans. For most of my videos, I'm usually just doing my makeup and talking and not really showing the products or the steps that I'm doing. So I'm gonna be really trying to go very slowly for you guys so you guys can get all of the products, all of the methods I use, and hopefully you can achieve a base that I like to do, if that makes sense. So first, I just wanted to talk about my skin and what I do to prep my skin when I do my makeup. So I have combination skin. So whenever I do my makeup, I always make sure that my face is washed and cleansed and moisturized. I know it might be easy to be like, oh, I'm not gonna go out today, I'm just doing my makeup for fun, so I'm not gonna wash my face before I do it because I'm gonna wash it off anyways. But that's really gonna affect how your makeup looks, because if you have oily skin and you're not washing it and getting rid of that oil, it's gonna show through the makeup. And if you have dry skin and you're using a bunch of powder and you didn't moisturize your face, you're gonna look like a crusty desert. You know what I mean? So it's very important to prep your skin before putting on makeup. So we're going to switch over to voiceover Jaylee, which I never do, so we'll see how this works out. Hi guys, so first I'm going to exfoliate my skin with the St. Ives Apricot Acne Control Scrub. I really like it, my skin really likes it, so I'm just going to dampen my skin first and then just apply the product in circular motions and get rid of all that dead skin. And also make sure you're really getting your eyebrows because those get dirty as well. And also make sure you are getting your neck because the neck counts as a part of your face care, okay? Next, I'm going to be rinsing all of this off. First, I'm going to rinse off my face with hot water. Why do I look like that? Ew. So make sure you get all of it off. Make sure you get the neck because people be forgetting the neck. We're not forgetting the neck. Okay, thank you. So we're going to rinse all of this off. Make sure you get all of the exfoliating balls off. I don't know if that's the name, but whatever. And then after you do that with hot water, you want to wash your face with cool water because this really helps close the pores, tightens the skin, gives you a nice glow. And the water's in my mouth. Next, I just tap my damp skin with a napkin. You can use a washcloth, whatever. Just make sure you're tapping it and not rubbing. And this is my skin after I exfoliate. Beautiful, beautiful. Someone make me a skin model. Next, I'm just going to moisturize with shea butter. And my skin has really been liking this the past couple of months. I'll just get a little bit of it and melt onto my skin and then I'll just rub it in. And you know, the skin is looking real glowy, real nice and goldeny brown. So glowy, beautiful. Mwah, beautiful. Okay, so we're back to me. I hope that made sense. I hope I wasn't going too fast. I feel like I'm not going too fast, it's fine. So after I put the shea butter on, usually I don't do my makeup right away after that. I'll wait a few hours whenever I feel like doing my makeup. So by the time I do my makeup, the shea butter is already like really soaked into my skin. So I'm going to go in with I have to actually show my products this time. My Gold Bond, I hope you can see it. I don't even know if this works. Yeah, so I use the Gold Bond Ultimate Eczema Relief for my face. I don't use a lot, I just use a little bit. So I already have eyebrows on. Usually I moisturize before I put eyebrows on, but I forgot, sorry. So we're just gonna go around the eyebrows, but I just always need to make sure that my skin is moisturized because if not, I'm gonna look crazy. I put makeup on my neck, so I always make sure I do the same things that I'm doing to my face to my neck because we want the neck to match the base, to match the body, so you look snatched, okay? You don't want to look crazy. So, I am all moisturized. Like I said, I usually moisturize first and then do my eyebrows. So while I'm doing my eyebrows and my concealer and carving them, so like I said before, I usually put moisturizer on before I do my eyebrows. So while I'm filling them in and carving them out with concealer, my moisturizer is just drying down in a sense, because you don't want to put makeup on like a fresh oily face because your makeup is not going to stick. So that is how I prep my face for makeup. Next, I want to talk about your brushes. So when it comes to your makeup brushes, I suggest that you wash your brushes at least every 3 to 4 weeks. I prefer to do it every 2 weeks just because I do my makeup almost every day, especially now that I'm not in school anymore. I'm doing my makeup constantly, 1 to 2 looks a day, so my brushes get really dirty really fast. So if your brushes are caked up with makeup, that's going to affect how the makeup looks on your skin. I recently just washed my brushes, and I'm going to switch over back to voiceover daily and talk about how I do that. So here is my dirty Dan brush. So for my cleaning solution, I use a mixture of olive oil and dish soap, and this really helps condition the bristles and also cuts the grease of foundation, concealer, whatever. So I don't have one of those fancy cleaning boards. If someone wants to sponsor me, please do, so I can buy one. So I just use my fingers. It's pretty easy. So you're just gonna rub the brush in circular motions on your brush or your fingers, your knuckles, whatever, and you basically just want to get really in there, and then just keep rinsing, add more soap and olive oil if you need to, and just do this process until your brush is clean. Pretty simple. So eventually when your soap is white and not brown or whatever color you are, doesn't really matter, that's when you know your brush is finally getting clean. And if you're not washing your brushes very frequently, it's going to take a longer time to wash all of your brushes. But if you're doing it every 3 to 4 weeks, like I said earlier, it shouldn't take you too long because there won't be that much product on them. So when you're rinsing them off, you want to do it in a downward position so the water does not go up the handle and loosen your bristles or make you lose the handle because the glue is softening. So here are just a few of my face brushes all cleaned up. To be completely honest, I forgot that the tips were white and not brown like me. So that's how I wash my brushes. So that's very important. So now we can get into the actual makeup application. So as you guys can see, I have a bit of hyperpigmentation. I have a few scars that are going to be going away, don't worry. Nothing wrong with scars. I absolutely love my skin. I think that there's a lot of pressure to have like the most beautiful glass skin, nothing going on, no scars, no pimples, nothing. That's not real life. Okay, it's not. I think I'm absolutely beautiful without makeup. I think I'm beautiful with some pimples. I think I'm beautiful with some scars. I think it's normal, and I think that it should be normalized. So for my makeup, I do color correct just to get rid of some of the scars if they're a bit darker. I don't know, what's the brand? The brand is RK by Kiss. You can find this in your hair store. I feel like every black girl has this palette. My mom had it. I stole it from her, bought my own. They're only like $6-7. So hopefully you can see it. I'm going to be using this red color on the bottom, and it's a cream contour palette. You can use a brush, you can use your finger, doesn't really matter. I will just take a bit on my finger and just put it where it needs to be put. So I'll put it right underneath my lip because it's a little bit dark. Put it right there. Do it on my mustache because I know some of you ladies got a mustache, and that's okay. We still cute, we just gonna cover it up. So I'll do a dot here, a dot here. I'll get under my eyes if they're a bit dark. I'll get where my scars are. Okay, so I'll just, ooh, missed the spot, missed the spot. I just put it wherever I feel like something needs to be covered. And this is completely optional. This is not gonna affect how your base looks. If you're going for a really high coverage look and you don't want anything showing underneath your foundation, I would highly suggest doing it if your foundation is not high coverage. My foundation is pretty much in the middle, but it definitely looks a lot better when I color correct. Where's my sponges? Where's my sponges? So I'm just going to take a sponge. It's kind of damp. It was a circle, but I cut it because I wanted sharp edges. So we're just going to get this and just blend this all out. And make sure when you're applying your color corrector, you're not putting a lot because this stuff will spread everywhere and you'll have a red face. So we're just gonna blend this all out. Okay, so now that this is all blended up, I'm going to take, don't mind this dot on here. This is where I put my eyebrow dye, so it stained it. But I am using the Fit Me 360 Matte and Poreless powder. It's for normal to oily skin, like my skin. So we're just gonna take this. This is not like a Morphe brush. I can't tell you what brush this is because it's cheap and there's no brand on it. But I'm just using this fluffy flat brush and I'm going to dip in here. So I'm just gonna put the powder over where I color corrected so it sets the cream because we don't want it mixing in with our foundation and making us look like a cherry. Why is my grandma vacuuming? Why is my grandma vacuuming? So, the vacuuming is done. Thank you, Lord. So, I finished setting the color corrector and notice that I used a foundation powder. I don't know how to explain it. A powder that matched my skin. You can use loose powder. I have loose powder, but if you're going to set your color corrector with loose powder, I highly suggest that you don't like bake your color corrector down because that's really gonna affect how your foundation sits on your face. Okay? Don't powder up your face. Powder is great, but if you use too much of it, you're gonna look crusty. You're gonna look crusty. Anyways, next is foundation. Oh wait, also just wanted to point out, I don't use primer. You can use primer if you want, but the foundation sticks pretty well to my skin without it. Side note. Next is foundation. So I use, once again, I'm using Maybelline. Sponsor me for like the 90th, 100th, millionth time. I don't understand like what the confusion is. Anyways, yeah, I use the Fit Me 360 in Dewy and Smooth. So this is the same brand and color as my powder. What I like to do is just get the tip of a brush, doesn't really matter, dip it into my foundation, and then I will just go and put it everywhere. And you want to make sure that it's not too much foundation. You can always add more. You can always add more. If it's not enough, just add more. But make sure you're not like caking your face up already when you're putting your foundation on. So I just go and just do it like that. And then I'm going to take my brush. It's flat, fluffy, doesn't have a brand, and I'm going to go in a stippling circular motion. I'm not going to be dragging it. I don't like using beauty blenders because it takes too long. I'm just going to be stippling the foundation into my skin. So, like this. And then make sure you get the ears, and then like I said, if it's not enough, put some more on. It's okay. You can always add more. And then make sure you are getting the neck. Don't forget your neck. We are not done with foundation yet. Once again, I'm going to just get a bit more on the tip of my brush and just dot it right here and right here, and also right here. Because I do concealer on my eyebrows, I think it makes them look really nice and neat, but you don't want to leave all of that concealer all around because it looks not good to me, in my opinion. If you like that for you, beautiful, go do your own thing, that's fine. For me, I don't like it. I like when it's just like a little bit of a halo around my eyebrows. I'm going to get this eyeshadow brush. It's flat, regular eyeshadow brush, and I am just going to blend all of this in like that. After you blend your foundation in with your brush, we are going to go in with concealer. I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in Dark Cocoa. This is one of the darkest concealers they have. Step up your game, Wet n Wild, because there are people a lot darker than me, and this is gonna be way too light for them. So I like Wet n Wild. They're a nice, really cheap drugstore brand. They're always in CVS, which is a store on my campus. So I really like their products, but they gotta amp up the shades a bit because it's not a lot. So I just use the applicator to apply my concealer. So I will just do a little bit under my chin, a little bit on my forehead, my nose, and then of course I'm gonna do under the eyes. I like a really bright under eye look. I love the way it looks. I love the way it makes my skin glow, but sometimes some of y'all are putting way too much concealer under your eyebrows because you want it to look bright. You don't have to use a lot of concealer as long as you have the right concealer. So I will just get a bit and just do like that much. I'll do that, and then we'll do the other side. Beautiful. So there's concealer. Again, I'm going to be grabbing my cut up sponge. You can use, this is not like beauty blender material, but I also use a beauty blender, but I've really been feeling these little sponges for some reason. So you can use whatever you want, but I'm going to be using this. So we're just going to tap it out. Make sure with your nose you're not just like going all over the place, because that's gonna ruin the point of doing concealer up your nose. It's so your nose looks a bit more sharp. This is obviously optional, but I like the way it looks for me. Okay, so next we're going to go with the under eye. I take the sharper edge of my blender and I go like this, so the sharper edge is parallel to my nose. And we're just gonna blend this all out. For me personally, I have creases under my eyes, as you can see. Once again, very normal, not the end of the world. I'm still cute. So I always make sure that I do the creases under my eyes last when I'm blending this out, so my concealer doesn't set in there. So after I blended out all of this, now I'm gonna go in with the sharper edge and get under my eye. So now we're just gonna do the other eye the same way. After blending in all of my concealer, I then take this larger eyeshadow brush. I'm just gonna go and blend it out so my concealer really blends into my foundation and it just doesn't look like random light spots on my face. Next, we're going to set our concealer. So I use the Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Translucent. So when it, you gotta spank it a little bit, make the powder come out. So when it comes to powder, I always see a lot of people like packing it on under their eyes when they're baking. I used to do this and I just looked real ashy. I looked ashy. So if you're going to be baking it on under your eyes, at least find a color that matches your skin. No shade to anyone but myself, because I used to look crazy. I am just going to grab the same eyeshadow brush that I used to blend out my concealer. I just went to the top where there's a little bit of powder, and I'm just going to lightly dip my brush in there and just lightly go over the parts where I put concealer. And then you just want to blend it in like that. And see how it just melts into the skin and you can't see the powder? That's the point of setting your concealer. You don't want to just have white spots all over your face. That's gonna look crazy. So even if you can't see the powder that I'm putting on, I'm putting powder on. So you just want to really just blend it in there. Once again, I do under my eyes last. So I'm just going to go and set all of this and then get under my eyes. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm just gonna take a bit more powder. I have really deep smile lines, and whenever I do my makeup, after a few hours, you just see the lines. I look like Mickey Mouse. So I am going to just get some of this powder again. You can already start to see them actually, right here and right here. So I'm gonna take some powder and go right over these lines, and this will help a bit with the smile lines. We're going to go back to powder after I do my contour. Contour is not my favorite step because I'm still mastering it because I have a real pudgy face. Hate it. So I mostly focus on contouring my cheekbones onto my nose. Not my favorite thing in the world, but I do contour these cheekbones because I look like a roly-poly. So this is a little bit non-traditional. I don't really know how to explain it. I am using the e.l.f. eyebrow gel and powder palette in dark, and I already used up the eyebrow part, but I will be using this powder because it works really well for my skin and I like it. So, and I'm using this small eyeshadow brush to be applying my contour. So I'm just going to go and dip into here, go like this, and I'm going to go like that in a circular motion. And then we're gonna go up a little bit into the hairline so it blends. And then next we're gonna do the nose. Like I said, I don't always do it, but sometimes I'll do it. So I start off right in between like my nose and my eye, if that makes sense. And I found this off of TikTok in one of my past videos that you should watch. I will link it above. I did a few TikTok hacks, and she said to do your contour right here and blend it into your brow. And it really does help. After I do this upper part, I just go down and I stop right where the ball of my nose is. I don't know if that's like the right term, but we gonna call it the ball of my nose. So next we're just gonna do the other side, same process. And then sometimes I'll do this like weird face, and I'm being so serious right now. I'll do this weird face and it'll like really accentuate where I need to contour. So like right here. There we go. And then I will just get a bit more and just go underneath the nose like that. I think it just looks nice. So we did that. Sometimes I don't blend out my contour the best because I'm not good at it. So I will take my foundation brush. I don't put any product on it because it still has product on it. And I will just go like this and just make sure everything is blended out and it's not just like a straight line of darkness on my face. So you just want to make sure everything is just really nice and blended out and everything is seaming together. So next we are going to bake. So I use this beauty blender that has a sharp edge like that, but any beauty blender that has just a straight line doesn't really matter, but this is what I use. So I'm going to dip into the actual container of powder, get my sponge pretty loaded, I don't know, with the powder like that, and then we're going to go like this, and you're going to just slide it down to about where the contour ends. Some people do it all the way to their mouth. It looks weird on me, so I don't do that. You want to keep doing this until you get the straight line. We're gonna do the other side now. So then for the nose, once again, we're gonna dip into our powder, and I am just going to go right up where I put my concealer earlier in a straight line. Like that. And this is just gonna really highlight the nose. Then we're gonna dip into our powder once again, and we're gonna tap our powder onto our nose and make sure that you leave a line where you contoured, and this will really help your contour stand out. So I'm just gonna go, I'm squeezing my brush, and I'm just gonna go like that until I get that nice straight line like that. So notice how I didn't put the powder all under my eyes. That's because we already set my concealer with powder. I don't need to pack on a bunch of powder because it's gonna make me look really ashy underneath. Like I said a million times, we're not ashy out here. We're not. While my powder is baking, I like to do the rest of my face makeup, so my blush and my highlighter. So we're going into the Maybelline Fit Me blush. Maybelline, I'm using all your products.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah. Sponsor me, thanks. So we're going into the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade 55. Oh, it's in Berry. I just hit myself in the head. To take this brush, it's a bronzer / contouring brush. I use it for my blush. I found this out probably like a month ago, but they were talking about how where you place your blush is how your face is going to look. That didn't make any sense. They're basically saying when you put blush right on the balls of your cheek, it makes the balls of your cheek stand out. I got really meaty cheeks. My grandma just said I had meaty cheeks last week. I have meaty cheeks, okay? It's just who I am. No matter how skinny I get, I will always have meaty cheeks. Oh well. So I started applying my foundation along my cheekbones like this and not right here. Personally, I think blush still looks really cute when you put it on your cheeks, and I still wouldn't be opposed to it. But when I'm going for like a really like sleek, serious tone, I just put my blush right here. Usually when I do like really crazy colorful eyeshadow looks, I'll put it right here because I think it looks better. But for just a regular natural look, I'll just put it on my cheekbones. We're going to just dip into our blush. Not even a lot, to be honest, and I like a lot of blush, so I'm gonna be packing this on. And you're gonna go right above your contour and into your hairline up here. So you're just gonna go up and into the hairline. And that was not enough blush. So when I really want blush, I will grab my brush like this and just go like that. Because I like blush. I don't care what anybody says. So once again, cheekbone, hairline. Once again, just gonna get a little bit more. I meant to say, I had this cute rhyming phrase for when I was talking about washing your face before you do makeup, and it was like, a clean base is a pretty face. No, that's wrong. No, a clean face is a happy base. Or a clean base is a smooth face. No, a clean face is a smooth base. Yeah, a clean face is a smooth base. I was supposed to say that when I was explaining why you should wash your face before you do makeup, but I forgot to say it, so I'm saying it now. If you guys want merch of that, let me know in the comments because I have money for merch. So let's continue with blush. There is our blush. Next is highlighter. I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam. So I'm going to go in with this fluffy eyeshadow brush from the dollar store. I'm going to go into this pretty corally color and just get some on there. Tap it off. You can always add more highlighter. If you start off with a lot, it's gonna look bad. I know highlighter is fun. So I'm just gonna do it in a circular motion like that and make sure I blend it into the blush. It wasn't enough for me, so I'm gonna go and dip in some more. You don't want to see it like all the way down here. You just want to do it so when you turn, boom. I'm just going to get a little bit of highlighter, put it on my chin, put it under my eyebrow as well. And usually I'll do this when I do eyeshadow so it blends really well. But since I don't have any on, I'll just do it now. Also, just above the Cupid's bow, I put it right on my lip because I think it looks pretty. Next, we're just going to wipe off our baking powder. So I'm going to take the same brush that I used for my what did I use this for? Wow, the same brush that I used for powder earlier when setting my color corrector. I'm going to use this to wipe off my baking powder because it still has that brown powder on it and I don't want to look like a ghost, really. So wiping off your nose powder, you want to go in the same direction as the powder so you're not getting it everywhere. So we're going to just go and lightly dust it off. Maybe even do that weird face I told you guys about. You might laugh at me, but it works. Get under the nose. And then when it comes to wiping this off, you don't want to wipe this powder over your contour. You want to wipe it away from your contour so you're not messing it up. So I will get my brush, put it on top of the powder, and just brush away. And then wipe off the excess powder on my leg or a napkin and just brush away. You blend this powder into your concealer. Next, we're gonna do under our cheekbones. So you want to just, with the powder, it's gonna look white underneath, so we're gonna fix that. Like I said before, go in the direction of the powder, so you want to be going like this, not like that. If you go like that, you're gonna mess it all up. We're going to, if I hear that motorcycle one more time, I'm not gonna do nothing. So we're gonna go back in with our Fit Me 360 powder, and we're just gonna go and tap it over. Yeah, so this is good enough for me because it makes me look like when I'm not, because I have a fat face. Now that we wiped the powder off of my nose, I'm going to grab my Fit Me blush once again. And I like blush on the nose. I think it's cute. I'm going to take my contouring brush. Just hear me out here. Dip it into my blush to go under the nose. And I'm going to go right above the ball of my nose and make like a rounded motion. So we're gonna go like that. I think it's so cute. Then we're going to grab our highlighting brush, go and put it on the ball of my nose. And then I also just put it right here. And then make sure I blend it out. I don't know what else to tell you guys. That's like the majority of what I do. So I just put some Vaseline on and some mascara on my lower lash line, but this is my regular all the time base makeup. I use the e.l.f. Illuminating Mist and Set Setting Spray. But yeah, no matter if I'm doing like a crazy eyeshadow look or just a simple eyeshadow look, this is what I always do for my base makeup. I can show you guys like an everyday makeup tutorial if you want, because I don't like beat my face like this like every day. So if you guys want a tutorial on my everyday makeup look, I can do that for you as well. But this is the end. Like I said, everybody's skin is different, and I think we really need to embrace our skin types, our scars, our pimples, everything, because it's normal. We're humans. It's normal to not be perfect. So yeah, this is my makeup. I hope this helped you guys out a lot because I got a few requests on this. So I wanted to really give this to you guys. If you guys have any other suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, share it with your friends if you thought it was somewhat educational or at least a little bit funny. So subscribe if you want. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!